Hello and thank you for joining me today on the Political Conversationalist. We just finished our third video on voting, and today we're continuing along the same lines with elections, and we're going to talk about fair and honest campaigns. Campaigns are becoming more and more expensive. On average, a congressional race costs $1.1 million and a Senate race costs $8 million. But how do we know if that money is being raised or used properly? Or, as in the case of California Congressman Duncan Hunter, is it being spent on personal shopping sprees? From 2017 to 2018, my congressman, Patrick McHenry, raised over $3.7 million and spent roughly the same. His campaign also says they have $1.3 million on hand. But where did all that money come from? Most of it came from businesses and groups like Alphabet, who owns Google, and Duke Energy. But the largest sum came from VoteSane Political Action Committee. Now, a political action committee, or PAC, can raise money for candidates or causes like gun control or specific policies. And they have a big brother in super PACs. Now, there are some key differences between the two. PACs have limits on the size of donations they can take and on the amount of money they can give to a candidate. Super PACs have no limits, but they can't give money directly to the candidates, so super PACs campaign on behalf of the candidates. Here's where things get muddy. PACs and super PACs have to tell the Federal Elections Commission who donates money to the PAC and who the PAC gives money to. But some PACs, like the VoteSane PAC we mentioned earlier, allow you to specify which candidate receives your money, and they are not required to release this information. I believe that this loophole is exploited so that campaign contributions can be used as bribes to gain political influence. And PACs and super PACs spend billions every year. In my opinion, PACs and super PACs should be illegal. Also, I don't believe businesses should be allowed to donate to campaigns either. Businesses like Alphabet and Amazon could potentially buy Congress or Senate by simply donating massive sums to everyone's campaign. Now that we've talked about how campaigns raise money, once the money is acquired, it still has to be spent, and here's another opportunity for wrongdoing. For instance, Donald Trump, when he ran for president in 2016, spent $8.2 million of his campaign money at businesses he owned. It should be illegal, obviously, to me, to spend campaign money in a way that directly supports businesses the candidate or their family owns. Another problem is how candidates report their spending to the Federal Elections Commissions. They only need to provide the name of the business or person receiving it, the amount, the date, and a category heading as to why. This can lead to some strange situations, like my Congressman Patrick McHenry giving $13,000 to someone named Megan Atkins for fundraising consulting. Now, just for clarity, I did search all over the internet: Megan Atkins fundraising, Megan Atkins consulting, Megan Atkins fundraising consulting, Megan Atkins Facebook, Megan Atkins political, and I couldn't find anything that would really warrant giving $13,000 to any of those Megan Atkins I could find. So as far as we know, this is some random woman named Megan Atkins who received $13,000 of my congressman's campaign money. And in fact, most of the money spent in his campaign was for quote-unquote fundraising consulting. No receipts or reasons for the transactions were provided to the public. Campaign spending should be documented in a much more detailed way. Citizens should be able to see actual receipts. Anyone can call anything fundraising consulting, and can use that to justify giving money to anyone. And lastly, to ensure that third parties and less wealthy candidates have a shot, we need campaign spending limits. Now, according to the Pew Research Center, most Americans already want them. They could easily reduce the role of money in politics, and they also could encourage candidates to spend money more wisely. A limit would prevent candidates from giving campaign money to random people, i.e. Megan Atkins, without reason, because they would need to spend that money on campaigning if they actually hope to win. A limit of $500,000 on congressional races and $5 million on Senate races is perfectly reasonable. All these measures, if strictly enforced and fervently investigated, could very well reduce the importance of money in politics, and just maybe, our representatives will do what we taxpayers pay them to do: represent. Thanks for watching.